Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Motivational Monday, and we are here again to try to bless you with whatever it is that God has blessed us with. Um, it never fails, do it, that He comes on with that. And I can't see who just popped on, but good morning to you, and thank you for joining in. Good morning, Brother Jonah.
Sister Rhonda.
Hey, Sister Rhonda. Thank you guys for coming in on every Monday morning. We are most grateful that you guys encourage us and keep us coming on every Rhonda Lee. Hey, Sister Rhonda, how you doing? And good morning, Sister Val. And thank you guys for just keep encouraging us. We appreciate it. Really appreciate it. We're gonna ask James to settle himself and say good morning because he gets to moving. I don't know. I think he gets nervous or something. And I'm the one who's nervous all the time, but I'm going to let him say good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, just thankful to be here. God is a good God. I don't know if it's just so much nerve. It's just the anticipation of a new day and what God has in store for us. Like I say, once again, we don't take it lightly. Again, to stand before God's people. Sometimes, you have to ask yourself, why me? But I'm just grateful to be used. And once again, just thank y'all for tuning into the Acts Ministries. Thank God for our spiritual leaders, Pastor Stewart and First Lady Stewart, for just allowing us this opportunity and this platform to be used by God. Even when you don't feel like you're worthy to be used. And you realize sometimes as you go through the week, and sometimes even what you had just spoken on or the words you have just heard, it comes back and slaps you in your own face, and you have to deal with it. And but I'm so thankful that God.
That's been happening a whole lot. Oh my goodness.
I'm just glad God don't love me like I love myself sometimes. You know what I mean? And sometimes I get down on myself because you don't live up to certain things. But God knows the plans He has for us all. And I just want to let everybody know, keep on pushing, keep on believing, keep on achieving what God has laid out before you. And if you're in a bad situation, song says trouble don't last always.
It don't.
Just keep on pushing, and God will reward them that diligently seek Him. And sometimes He allows trouble to come so we can seek Him a little harder. So
I always say, it's a little saying that I like to say. It says, the storm doesn't last always. The sun eventually comes out. I love that.
It comes out. So had a very power-packed weekend.
The men, they did a good job. Good job, man.
Elder Princeton Johnson came in from Oklahoma City, young man that has been coming, I think, since he was, I think might have been a teenager the first time that I met him, but he's a pastor now, and God used him. Says time for a re-up. And man, the Spirit of the Lord fell in the church both nights, especially both days, especially on yesterday. It was accumulation of everything. It's accumulation. The ministers of music, the musicians went somewhere, and Minister Vernon went somewhere, and people in the audience was very few in numbers. Folks been working, some of us shouting, and Elder Johnson was running, and my God, and the thing that hit me more than anything on yesterday was restore.
Right.
Restore. And I don't know about you, but after 2020, I need God to restore some stuff.
I know. I think that was our word too. We said we were waiting on God. This year, 2021, we was going to just let God to just allow God to restore within us.
Right. And it goes right in hand with the word. And the thing about it is with the theme of this year, a year of resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be resurrected, some stuff has to be restored, has to be revived, has to be brought back to life. And I don't know about you, but when he hit that restore, I know he's talking about a re-up, but when he said restore, I started looking at places in my life that are depleted, places in my life that I have slacked in, places in my life spiritually that I'm not the same anymore. And I need God to restore some stuff. Yes, we still got help, we still got strength. But when you empty spiritually, when you empty in some areas, I ain't talking about just not that you depleted and you don't have a word. but it's something missing on the inside.
Yeah.
And my God, oof, he hit that, and I think the tears began to fall. And I said, Lord, just create in me a clean heart, renew the right spirit in me. Lord, wash me with hyssop, God. Search me, oh Lord. And when you find those things that are being a distraction to me, pull them out so I can walk in ordered footsteps. Because every once in a while, I don't want to walk in ordered footsteps. I'd rather walk in my steps, because the ordered footsteps take me down paths sometimes with some resistance, some things I don't want to go down.
And you say you don't want to, but I want to walk in ordered footsteps. I want to be dead center God's will, but I know that it comes with trials and tribulations and some things that we don't want to endure.
That's it.
But we want to walk in order footsteps. We just don't want to endure the pain.
The flesh.
The stuff that comes with it.
Don't want to walk in that
No,
sometimes.
the flesh
you know
does.
what I'm saying? They want to act a fool. And I think that's one thing we have to be real careful with, especially in 2020. Don't get comfortable. I'm going to say this again, and we're going to get into this word in a second. But don't get comfortable in the situation you are in right now. I'm going to say it again. Don't get comfortable in that. See, a lot of us have gotten comfortable. We got comfortable in some stuff. And I don't want to deal in too much of it, but you get comfortable where you are. And if you get comfortable, you begin to get complacent. And if you get complacent, then you begin to get stagnant. And don't nothing grow. Don't nothing live in stagnant water.
Can you not jump into the message
sorry,
until we get to the message?
I'm sorry. I feel something because a lot of us have gotten stagnant. And stagnant water stink. What you been I'm sorry, Tamicka. Let's get into boy.
Anyway, if you don't mind, if you don't mind, please go ahead and take the time to share this message. We think it's for somebody. It's not, and this is not a comfortable message on today. It's not. It's still motivating. It's still motivating. But it's not the most comfortable message that we will hear on today. I know for me, I've struggled with it all night and struggled with it all weekend long. And I still don't feel it the way I think James felt it. He woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning and said, get up and write this down or put this in your slides. And I'm like, and even when he was telling me, I'm like, okay, God, I still really don't see it the way he see it, but I'm praying that we gel and go and give you guys what God has given us. And a lot of times when we're preparing, we don't always have it all together, but when we're speaking to you guys, it comes to us as, God will have us to give it to you. So if we're stepping on some toes this morning, we're sorry. If we're coming down your lane and it's harsh, I'm sorry. Nobody told us anything. I promise you. We're doing what God is telling us to do. So,
and that's the thing. I'm going to say this and God has been during this time of consecration. God has been waking me up. Tamicka say she always mentions you fall asleep as soon as you come home. You've been tired, but God been waking me up every morning between 3 and 5, and it's just I just lay there. I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope it don't get. She had seen my phone where I tried to get on the prayer line, and it wouldn't let me in. And I tried again, and wouldn't let me in. And God was saying, I need you. I need you to focus on me right now. I'm not saying this for anybody else. I'm saying this for me. And so a lot of times I'm up. She'll tell you I'm up, just laying in the bed, looking at the ceiling, praying. When I say looking at the ceiling, just allowing God to download and talk to God during that time. And I don't go back to sleep. If I do, I fall back to sleep about 30 minutes when it's time to get up. But for the most time, I'm laying there. So I nudged her because on Sundays is our most, look here, let me tell you, you don't want to be in the Fletcher's house on Sunday night. Now we're trying to prepare for the word. I ain't going to say we're fussing, but it's a very uncomfortable situation.
It really is.
It's very uncomfortable because we don't want to
I think we come to our point of divorce and on Sunday evenings when it comes to these messages. It's like, you know what? I quit. I don't want to do this no more with you. I'm sick of you. You're getting on my last nerve. No, but seriously.
I'm serious. It's rough.
It's rough over here.
And I thank God for it because we're going to get into this word, but it stretches us.
Yes.
It stretches us to a place. It's easy for me to prepare for a message by myself, but it's trying to come together with Tamicka to really give something that has substance, that has life, that causes somebody to hang on to God's unchanging hand a little while longer. So when we look at this, and it never fails, we don't get this until the wee hours of the morning. Mm. So what y'all getting from us, sometimes we just getting ourselves.
Not that we haven't prepared ourselves. Yeah. It's just that sometimes it's just the way that God is giving it to us. Anyway, we're going to get into our message. And today, it's called I'm Uncomfortable in this season of stretching.
That's it.
I'm uncomfortable in this season of stretching. And how many of you have felt like you needed to stretch? And, you know, it was kind of weird because I called James. Well, James had called me on Saturday. He's supposed to be not working, but he goes to work, quote unquote, or what you call it? What you say you doing with the guys?
I'm going to line the guys.
He's going to go line the guys up. Anyway, he's going to work. And he called me, and at the time he was calling me, I was doing my devotion and stretching at the same time. I got out of the bed because I was like, man, I need to stretch. My body feels, my muscles feel kind of tight. And when I got down to stretch on the floor, I realized I wasn't as flexible as I used to be. I couldn't touch my toes. I couldn't go all the way down like I used to. I was like, man, I used to be able to just stretch all the way down. But now I can't. And so I said, I'm just going to stay in this position for just a little bit. And it hurt. The farther I went, the more it hurt. And I was like, Jesus, I feel so out of shape. Not, you know, I'm not flexible like I used to be. And he called me in a position as I was stretching. He called me when I was trying to touch my toes. And when I answered the phone, it was probably like, hello? You know, he was like, what you doing? I'm like, you know, just doing my devotion. I didn't want to tell him I was stretching and trying to touch my toes because I couldn't touch my toes. But anyway, when he did it, when he got to talking, I was just like, I think I got something. I don't know exactly what it is, the message is, but I know my devotion was good at the time. And I just thought it was kind of strange. And then for this morning, for him to wake up, we didn't have the term stretching at the time. He woke me up about whatever time he woke me up this morning. So if my eyes are puffy, it's his fault. But he woke me up and he said, I got it. He said, uncomfortable in this season of stretching. We had testing at first, but we're still going to deal with testing on this morning. So I said all that to say stretching hurts.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And I think this is where we are. You know, we were talking about transitioning on last week, talking about transitioning, and I'm in a season of transition. You cannot be in a season of transition without God stretching you.
Right.
I'm going to say it again. You cannot be in a season of transition without God stretching you. And when you're being stretched, it's very, very uncomfortable.
It is.
It's very uncomfortable. And a lot of us are going through some things right now that's not comfortable. Mm-mm. We're frustrated. We're irritable. We're sometimes mad at ourselves. Can't get comfortable. And God is stretching us right through here. It's a good thing not to be comfortable.
I like that you said you're irritable. And lately, during this time, I don't know, it's been a while since I've been feeling like this. I've been telling James, I said, man, I feel so just not right. Something is tangible, but not tangible. You know, what I mean is something, I can see something, but it's not there just yet. It's not visible just yet. And I feel like God is calling me and pulling me to something, but I just don't know exactly what it is. And I heard someone say the other night, they was like, it's something. Well, when she was saying that, I was just like, man, I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. We were. I'm gonna say this. We were on a Zoom call, and man, it was good. It was good, and God began to drop some stuff right then in my spirit, and I was listening to one of the sisters talk. And she said, I'm not comfortable where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Is anybody out there feel like that? You're not comfortable where you are. You don't even know where you are. You're struggling with this and you're struggling with that. Don't want to go to work. Don't want to deal with those folk. Matter of fact, don't even want to deal with your spouse half the time. Don't want to deal with your church folk. Don't want to deal with your family. You're just in a place where you're saying, I don't even want to deal with me. You just come because God is stretching you. And when you're being stretched, sometimes that's the most uncomfortable place to be, but it's good. And I'm going to take my time a little bit because God just deposited that in me this morning. He said, what was wrong with you? You're being stretched. And he hit me with the scripture and said, I cannot put new wine in old skins. He said, I gotta know that you can be able to be stretched. I got to know you can be able to be expandable. I got to know that you're willing to go through the process where I can pull you and expand you to a certain place. So he said, why you're not comfortable? Because I want to allow you to be comfortable because I need to stretch you. I need to stretch you. And we're going to come on to me because
let's get into the lesson because we're going
somewhere.
So our key verse is coming from 1 Peter 4:12. And I'm reading from the Amplified Version. It says, Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal which is taking place to test you. Don't be surprised, right? It said, Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal which is taking place to test you. What you're going through, your situation, all these hellish situations that's coming towards you, don't be surprised by them. You know, that all these things that's going on, they're here to test you. That is to test you. Let me read it again. It says, Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal which is taking place to test you. That is to test the quality of your faith. Mm-hmm. As though something strange or usual were happening to you. Don't take it as being something strange and something unusual happening to you. And we're right here. I'm going to go right here instead. I'm just going to switch that around. I like this verse. So, did you want to say something about that scripture?
Because no, hey, don't think it's strange. Don't think it's strange. What you have been going through is not strange. It's God working something in you. He got you in transition. He's pulling you through some stuff, and it ain't supposed to be comfortable, baby. See, that's the problem with a lot of us. We realized in 2020, when the pandemic hit, we realized we got comfortable. Mm. Oh, a lot of us that got comfortable in 2020. We got comfortable in our spiritual walk. We got comfortable in our jobs. We got comfortable in our life. We got comfortable in our marriage. We got comfortable in a lot of situations. But when 2020 came, it allowed you to see God didn't want you to be comfortable. If you didn't get anything out of 2020, I want you to get this. God did not want you to be comfortable. And I know some people say, wait a minute, why did I get over here then? Let me say this. Most of us that came to God, came to church, ran up in here, fell on our face and said, Lord, help me. It wasn't because we was comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's because we was going through some stuff. And it's something about, you learn more about God when you're going through the difficult times in your life. When you're going through testing, when you're going through trials, it increases your faith. See, come on to me. Come on.
You know what? I was thinking that, how did you get comfortable?
Come on.
How did God break that fallow ground up? Mm-hmm. What did he do? Okay, so in our comfort, how do we know we were comfortable? Is because we had a routine going. Our routine every day, get up. I'm just going to use mine because I can't use anybody else's. But get up at 4:18 in the morning, go work out, go do this, go do that. Whatever it was, we had a routine. And we were used to our routine. And nothing could break that up. We go to church.
It was good. Well, nothing wrong. It was good.
Yeah, you get up, you go to church on Wednesdays, at 6:30. Mm-hmm. In the evening, you go home, get the kids ready for school the next morning. You come back to church on Sunday and you praise the Lord, and you either going to run down the aisle or you're going to sit in your spot. You're going to talk to sister such and such. You're going to do this. You're going to go out in the foyer and you're going to, hey, brother, sister, or whatever it is. And that's your routine. But God had something more to give us.
He threw a monkey wrench in it.
Yeah.
He threw a monkey wrench in it. And let me say this. Let me throw this in there before you go any further. God has invested entirely too much in us, in you, for you to be comfortable in anything less than what he created you to be.
That's good.
God has invested too much in you for you to be comfortable in anything less than what he has created you to be. And that's the thing about it. The reason you feeling the way you feeling right now, the reason you're going through all the hell you're going through, the reason why you can't sleep, the reason why you don't feel good about this and feel good about that, God is saying you have gotten too comfortable. You have gotten too comfortable where you are, and you cannot be used by me in that state of comfortability. Comfortability. I have it. Come on. Tim.
Okay, yeah, because there he jumping. So
Okay,
let's
next
go and get
word.
into this. It says, in pursuit, when you're in pursuit, God will test you. So stay with us. It says, in order to carry out the plans God has for us, that's where James was going. We must go through a season of testing. Ouch, that hurts. A time where we are the most uncomfortable. This season, nobody wants to be tested. Nobody wants to go through an uncomfortable season. Like right now, sitting in this chair, I'm a little bit uncomfortable and I'm trying to adjust, so that I can get comfortable. It says a time where we are the most uncomfortable in every aspect of our lives. That's what we just got them talking about, how God came in and shook up our foundations a little bit. We are uncomfortable in every aspect of our lives. God tests us to prepare us. And what is he preparing us for? He prepares us for our purpose, which is our destination. We're going somewhere. God is preparing us for our purpose. Most tests implemented by God will make you extremely uncomfortable. Why? Because God has to stretch and prepare us for the trip to purpose. We must be tested in every environment and on every terrain.
That's good to me.
If you don't get tested, we can't go to Alaska being in this environment all of our lives and expect to thrive and function in Alaska. We got to get the proper attire. I mean, let me speak for me. I can't stand it right now. I'm freezing right now in the house. I will freeze to death with my mindset. Cause 60 degrees, I'm freezing. Mm-hmm. I can imagine what the temperatures are there. I'd probably just die.
Right.
I mean, seriously. So there's my mindset have to change in order to go and live in that terrain. You got to be tested in every environment. And on every terrain. They don't just put a car tires. He can speak more on this, but there's certain tires that will ride off road better than the tires that ride on the road, right? Mm-hmm. And in order for those tires to be approved, they got to test them.
Got to test them.
Go ahead.
No, you good. And the thing I think what I realize is the tests and trials come. Look here, difficulties come in our lives to develop us. Every storm is a school. I'm gonna say it again. Difficulties come in our lives to develop us. Every storm is a school. Every trial is a teacher. And every experience is education.
I like every storm is a grade.
Every storm is a grade. And you look at it, this is the first day in February, which is Black History Month. And sometimes we lose out on certain things of education because we never had a chance to experience or relive or revisit the storms that some folk had to go through. Your storm is a testimony for somebody else. You just got to have the strength to endure it. You got to have the patience to endure it. You got to be willing to be stretched by God so God can use your life for somebody else's education. Come on, Tamicka.
So let me define uncomfortable. It says causing or feeling slight pain or physical discomfort. Mm-hmm. And some of the synonyms for uncomfortable is painful, not comfortable, intolerable, unbearable, disagreeable, excruciating, agonizing, confining, and cramped. Have you felt any of those lately? Have you felt any pain lately? Have your life been unbearable lately? Have you had some disagreeable moments, some excruciating times, and some agonizing mental thoughts, some confining and cramped moments? Have you felt that lately? I can attest to it. I have. I've been feeling like that for a while. I'm just, anyway, I'm trying not to go there. You know, I can't have James over here crying and me over here crying. So I try to keep myself together a little bit more. Anyway, you want to keep going together?
And let me say this. We're going to get into another section of this, but sometimes you have to be real with your feelings. Mm-hmm. You have to put them out there on the line. God, I'm uncomfortable. God, I don't feel good. And see, sometimes you can't tell nobody else. Them the conversation I have in the morning when I'm praying and I'm talking with God. It ain't so much that I see some stuff I can't pray out openly in a corporate setting. And so right through here, that's my most intimate times with God, early in the morning, where I can just tell him how I really feel. Lord, I messed up. Lord, I don't feel like doing what you asked me to do. Lord, I don't even feel like getting out the bed because right now I'm uncomfortable. I feel like walking out. I don't know where I'm going, but I got a pocket full of money and I can go a long ways. Lord, keep my mind. Lord, keep my feet in place. God, don't let my feet slip. Lord, thy word I've hid in my heart that I might not sin it. When you get uncomfortable, you got to know how to talk to God. When you get uncomfortable, you got to come to the realization that God knows and he understands everything, for we serve not a high priest that cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmity. He already knows what he's putting you through. He already knows what you're going through. He already sees the outcome, but you got to be real with yourself. It's time out for fake church folk. It's time out for fake folk. I don't want no fake folk around me. If you got to fake it till you make it, fake it over there by yourself. I need some folk around me that I can be honest with. Matter of fact, I ain't even got to tell you. You just come lay hands on me and say, I'm praying for your brother. See, every once in a while, you get to a place where you got to be like David. You got to be like that. When God is stretching you, you don't even know who you are anymore. You don't even like where you look. Can I just get into this like I want to get into it?
No, you in it.
It's time out for that. It's time out. I'm letting me talk because y'all.
I thought you were trying to get into it like you wanted to get into it.
I'm gonna stay away from it because let's be real. None of us was expecting a 2020 like that. Mm-mm. And people come, I'm good. I'm highly favored. I'm walking in ordered footsteps. That's cool. We need you. But every once in a while, I need somebody to say, man,
I barely made it.
I quit. I threw in the towel. But when I was walking away, I looked down, the towel was still stuck in my hand. It wasn't, matter of fact, I laid down and I looked up. I was 20 steps further than what I was because God was carrying me. See, every once in a while, God gives you a rebirthing experience. When he takes you back to when you first believed, he takes you back when you were struggling, when you didn't. It's an humbling experience to go through a transition. It's an humbling experience to be uncomfortable.
Hey, I was thinking about something you was listening to the other morning. It says a marathon runner got, how far away was she from? You know, the marathon is 26 miles.
She was 0.2 miles away from finishing.
0.2 miles away from finishing. And she tried to get up several times and could not get up.
Couldn't get up.
But she told herself, you know what?
She was leading the race. She was winning the race. She was 0.2 miles from finishing the race. 26 miles. She had 0.2 miles left to go.
0.2 miles left to go.
And what happened? Her body cramped up.
She cramped up. She couldn't move anymore. But she kept telling herself, you know what?
I'm going to finish.
I can't run across this finish line, but I am going to finish. And guess what she did? She crawled. And they said by the time she got to the end of the finish line, her elbows, her knees, and everything, and hands were bloody. It was a bloody mess. How many of you came through last year a bloody mess?
A bloody mess.
And to be honest, 2021 in the month of January, 95,000 people, more than any other month, people died of COVID. 95,000 people died of COVID. Right. It's worse than any other month. So it ain't, it's not like that. It's not that it's over. We've gotten comfortable.
Got comfortable. And you got to have a desire. You got to have a passion to say, I'm going to finish. I don't care what it looks like. I might not win, but I'm going to finish. He didn't bring me this far to leave me. So if I got to crawl through here and if I got to hurt while I'm crawling, I'm already hurting. But let me just finish this thing that God has already placed in me. My destiny lies before me and it's not comfortable getting to it. Tamicka, let's get into this lesson because I hate to go here but I will. But when you look at it, when we look at everything that we talked about transition. We talked about going through a transition. We talked about being in a cocoon, being in a metamorphosis state. And it's certain things. See, the thing about it is it's not comfortable when God is stretching you. Mm. It's not comfortable when God is causing you to become. And a lot of times we want to fight the process.
Right.
But when God has placed something in you, see, a lot of times you think you have arrived, right? Mm-hmm. God done bless you. He gave you that thing he blessed you with. He gave it to you. You've been crying for it. What are you going to do when God asks you for the thing that he gave you back?
Oh, that's good.
What is God? What are you going to do? Is it he bless you with something that you've been desiring all your life. Mm. But then all of a sudden, God asks you to give it back to me. Is that a comfortable or uncomfortable situation? We're talking about an uncomfortable situation. With that being said, to me, go ahead and give me that what you got.
So that's good. I like that because here in Genesis 22 and 1 through 12, it's quite a bit of reading, so bear with me. It says, now, after these things, God tested the faith and the commitment of Abraham. And he said to him, Abraham, and he answered, here I am. God said, take now your son, your only son of a promise, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. And after him, there is a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. So Abraham got up early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. And he split the wood for the burnt offering. And then he got up and went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd day of travel, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Abraham said to his servants, settle down and stay here with the donkey. The young man and I will go over there and worship, and we will come back to you. Then Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it down on the shoulders of Isaac, his son. And he took the fire in his own hand and the sacrificial knife, and the 2 of them walked on together. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot my glasses today. And Isaac said to Abraham, my father. And he said, here I am, my son. Isaac said, look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abraham said, my son, God will provide for himself a lamb for the burnt offering. So the 2 walked on together. When they came to the place which God had told him, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood and bound Isaac on his son and placed him on the altar on top of the wood. Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. He stretched out his hand. He stretched out his hand to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he answered, he said, here I am. The Lord said, do not reach out. Don't stretch out with the knife your hand against the boy, and do nothing to him. For now I know you fear God with reverence and profound respect, since you have not withheld from me your own son, the promise that he has given him.
Just when you thought you have arrived, you got comfortable. Abraham finally got Isaac. Mm-hmm. And God asked Abraham for Isaac back. He said, I want him back. He said, I want you to take him to a place that I'm going to show you. I don't even, well, you don't even, it's uncomfortable going where you don't even know where you're going. But then you taking your promise, the thing that God had promised you, and he asking you to sacrifice it to him. That's a very uncomfortable situation. That's a stretch. Let me say it again. That's a stretch. Are you being stretched? Are you being stretched to the point where the thing that God has blessed you, God is asking you to give it back to him? So Abraham went. But one thing he did, he didn't stop worshiping.
No.
He went to a place and he stretched forth his hand to sacrifice his blessing.
Right.
Come on to me.
Wow. That's good, James.
And the thing about it, God would not allow Abraham to be comfortable with the promise, because the promise wasn't just Isaac. It was that I'm going to make you a father of many nations. See, a lot of us have gotten stuck with that little thing that we ask God. I'm saying that little thing, it might have been big to you, but it's little to God. God has more for you, because that was just a piece of the pie. And I don't know about you, but I want the whole pie. So God is saying you have gotten comfortable with that job. You have got comfortable with that little bit of money you had in the bank. You got comfortable in your marriage. And anytime you get comfortable, I'm going to say it again, you get complacent. And when you get complacent, you get stagnant, and can't nothing live or grow in stagnant waters.
That's good.
Tamicka,
now parasites can.
Just parasites live in stagnant waters. But parasites feed off of dead stuff. You got to ask yourself, is what's feeding off me dead, or is it alive? Am I stagnant, or am I growing? See, there's no growth in stagnant waters. To me, come on.
So we have a question onto you. Even, like James, we talked about Abraham stretching forth his hand to sacrifice the purpose, the promise. When was the last time you were uncomfortable?
That's it. Come on. Ask yourself that question.
Spiritually, when was the last time you were uncomfortable? You know, I'm looking for some answers on our feed, because if you haven't been uncomfortable, growth,
there's no growth.
Hasn't happened lately.
This right here says, show me the last time you felt uncomfortable, and I'll show you a growth period in your life.
I like that.
Show me the last time you felt uncomfortable, and I'll show you a growth period in your life. See, a lot of times you can have your favorite pair of shoes. See, a lot of us done stopped growing. But when we were young, we have our favorite pair of shoes. You knew them shoes was too little. You outgrew those shoes when your feet started hurting.
Let's use our son.
Okay.
He got a pair of Vans that he loved. He got those Vans for his birthday last year. Or Christmas, I don't know. Anyway, he has worn those shoes every single day. Every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day. And every day I say, Connor, what size are those shoes? Do those shoes make your feet hurt? No, they're good. They're comfortable. I like them. You know, and I'm like, there's no way you can fit those shoes. If I bought you a size 6 for Christmas, come on. And the shoe is a size 5, I know you cannot fit those shoes. I'm okay. So James decided for his birthday, which was a couple of weeks ago or last week, I don't know. It was last week. He said, let me take him to go buy him another pair of shoes. And guess what shoe he got?
The same
pair of shoes.
Color.
Same color.
Everything.
Bigger size.
Stop trying to fit in uncomfortable situations.
Right.
God is saying
that is so good.
It's something,
I like that.
You cannot grow. You starting your growth in those uncomfortable situations. Those comfortable situations. You say, stop trying to fit. I'm gonna say it again. Stop trying to fit in comfortable situations that you're uncomfortable in. See, you gotta get to a place where, look at me, I can't do this no more. I can't.
My toes can't stretch out.
My toes can't stretch. My feet hurt. And if your feet hurt, your head hurt, your body hurt. You know how, y'all women know how it is. These some cute shoes. Them shoes killing your feet. You about to die, but you looking cute. But they so uncomfortable. And God is saying, how long will you try to fit in that when I'm asking you for something bigger.
I like this. It says, if you're growing, count on being uncomfortable. If you're growing, count on being uncomfortable. You might as well count on being uncomfortable. Growth is a choice, though.
It's a choice.
Here, growth is a choice. It says you can decide to grow in yourself as a person, or you can choose not to grow. No one is holding you back except you, yourself, and your fear of being uncomfortable.
Your fear of being stretched. Mm-hmm. Your fear of being stretched. Your fear of being uncomfortable. Come on to me.
Our circumstances tell us we need to make a change, but our instincts tell us to remain in our comfort zones. As soon as you make shifts in your life, like a move or developing a new habit, our brains starts to resist it. Let me read on. It says, this mental barrier is part of a reason why people give up on their dreams. When you get ready to shift, when you get ready to move forward in something, or go somewhere, say for instance, God give you a glimpse of something, of where you're going, your purpose, your destination, and you get excited, but then you got to walk on uncharted waters. You got to go through some things that's not going to be comfortable. That's not going to be comfortable. You got to go through some situations that's going to be painful. And God is saying, I want you to come here, but your mind is telling you, girl, do you know what's on the other side of that road? Do you know what's on the other side of that mountain? No, not today. Do you know what you finna face? You finna face some lions, some bears, and some tigers.
But you gotta be willing to be stretched. And I'm gonna break this down, slow it down a little bit, because I want to speak to I want to speak to everybody, but I want to speak first off to my sisters. Nobody, no other being on this earth understands the process of being stretched like a woman who has had a baby. No one. You understand that process more than anybody else. It's a very uncomfortable process. It's so uncomfortable that sometimes you can't sleep. You don't like the expansion of your body. You don't like the expansion of your nose. They say your nose get big, your lips get big, and you struggle with your identity because you can't wear the same clothes anymore, and sometimes you don't feel you feel insufficient. Now when some of the self-esteem issues sometimes come in, you're insecure, your belly gets big, and all this stuff happens. Your whole body takes on a new shape because it's expanding. Mm-hmm. But the process of giving birth is well worth all the expansion because you are looking at that life and that bundle of joy that's being developed on the inside. You got to realize that same gifting that God has put in you is being developed through the trials, through the expansion, through everything you're going through. That gift is being developed on the inside. And you got to have the same excitement. And you also have to have the same fear of giving birth to it because there's still a fear in giving birth. I saw the fear in my wife's eyes when it came time to push out this whole baby, especially when she had to push out 2 babies with no anesthesia. Not because it was on her self-choice, it's just the way the situation fell into place. So she had to give birth with no anesthesia, and there's a fear of giving birth. Because it says the closest a woman comes to death is when she's giving birth to a baby. It's the transition. And let me say this. Like no other, the stretching process.
I like how you just said that. I was thinking when you were saying how I was thinking in my mind with having those babies. I can remember the pain in delivering Zion. That was there came a point
Talk
when
about the pain to me. Come on.
there came a point when the baby crowned, when her head started coming out, there was an agony, a pain that is unimaginable. I can't, you can't even explain that pain. There's a stretching of the body that happens that your body, I can't even really explain it, because it was like I could feel everything that was going on at that time. And my mind couldn't phantom the pain. So what happened was I went into shock.
Come on.
Because I couldn't understand my body. My mind couldn't understand the stretching and the pain that I was of delivering that baby. And I went into shock, and I went into shock for hours.
Yeah, didn't even see the baby.
I couldn't even see her. I couldn't even hold her. I couldn't even look at her, because he laughed at me, not that he was laughing. He laughed at me afterwards. He's like, you were shaking like you was on drugs or something. But he can't imagine what I went through. He can't imagine the pain that I felt. And even afterwards, my mind kept feeling that pain afterwards. Right. Even though I was like trying to see her and love on her and enjoy her, my body, that stretching, that uncomfortability, that pain was agonizing. It was unbearable. I was thinking about the word uncomfortable. It was intolerable. But I made it through it.
Yeah, it was excruciating, agonizing, cramping, confining. And that's the thing we got to look at.
But I made it through it.
Made it through it and was able to enjoy the thing you gave birth to.
I was thinking about what we was talking about. It says, if you're growing, count on being uncomfortable. Because if you're growing, think about the baby growing. You're growing your body. Don't even think about what's on the inside of you, but your body is growing. And you're becoming uncomfortable. But you're growing because you're getting ready to give birth to something. And I was thinking about right here, it says, there are times when you are seeking growth where you may start to think, I can't not do this anymore. When they told me to push that last time, I was thinking I think I even said it. I said, I can't.
She said, I can't.
It hurts too bad.
Somebody's at a place right now.
You can do it.
Where you saying, I cannot go through this process anymore. It's too uncomfortable. The pain is too great. I've been through this. I've been through that. I've lost loved ones. I lost my job. I don't know where I am. It's so uncomfortable right now. But I'm telling you, keep pushing. Keep just pushing. You finna give birth to something that's greater than you can ever imagine. Just keep pushing. Hold on and keep pushing. I said that. I went that way with my sisters because I want to let you know how key you are to the whole process of giving birth. Even after you're giving birth, y'all have these things that y'all hate more than anything. Y'all go get cocoa butter and everything else to try to get rid of them. They're called stretch marks. See, brothers got them too. I wasn't comfortable having no baby. I came from eating too much and got your body stretched all out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And we got stretch marks too. We just don't gripe on them like y'all do. But when you have given birth to something, when you have been expanded, God is saying, I'm allowing you to see that I can trust you through the process of giving birth to something. And he shows you when you think that you can't do it anymore, look in the mirror at those stretch marks and don't look at those stretch marks as a curse. Look at them as a blessing. God, you left a scar on me to let me know that I'm able to be expanded. You left a scar on me to let me know that I can still push this thing out. You can trust me with that process of giving birth to something. I got scars on me to let me know that I've been through it once before. I might have been younger. I might have been a little bit more fit to do it, but you can still do it. And something that Tamicka told me in the stretching process that's so powerful is this right here. Let me say that when you're stretching, it brings a elasticity to the muscles. But one thing stretching does, it increases the blood flow to the muscle, to the muscle. I don't know who that was for, but when you are being stretched, it increases the flow of blood. And I don't know about you, but I need his blood in every area of my life. It's some areas in your life the blood of Christ has not been in a long time. But when you're being stretched, those areas of your life.
I like this. Even though he jumped, I'm gonna jump with him. He says, he's talking about the blood flow. It says, stretching lengthens your muscles and reduce stiffness. Stretching also has the potential to stimulate the release of pain-reducing endorphins and improve your circulation. Stretching keeps the muscles flexible, strong, and healthy. And we need that flexibility to maintain a range of motion in the joints. Without it, the muscles shorten and become tight. Then when you call on the muscles for activity, they are weak and unable to extend all the way. Regular stretching keeps muscles long, lean, flexible, and this means that exertion, force, energy, toil, labor won't put too much force on the muscle itself. Healthy muscles help a person with balancing problems to avoid fall. It helps you to balance problems to avoid falls. It helps you to balance problems to avoid falls. It helps us to balance problems to avoid falls.
And what's so powerful?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because you were going somewhere. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I don't want to take you too far, because you was talking about the stretching and the flexibility of how stretching gives us flexibility. Now I'm gonna let you go ahead, because I was gonna take us somewhere else.
Go ahead. You good?
No, we don't have much time. Go, honey.
And I think the thing we have to look at more than anything, don't be comfortable with being comfortable. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because as long as you're uncomfortable, that means you are growing. That means you are expanding. That means you are getting to a place that God can really use you. When you get comfortable with being comfortable, you might not be in a good place. One thing I love about Tamicka is I love it, but then I hate it. I'm going to say it again. I love it, but then I hate it. It's because she will not allow me to get comfortable. She's always pushing me. She's always saying she wants more. She wants better in our relationship. Better. And sometimes I'm like, okay, we good. But she'll say, like the other night, she say, and this for all the brother out there, let y'all know, y'all ain't the only one. But she said to me, when you gonna put that phone down for a little bit? When you gonna come in here and sit down and talk to me for a little bit? When are you gonna entertain me? When you gonna speak something to me? She said, yeah, you here, but you're not here with me. And so sometimes I'm like, okay, I just want a minute to myself so I can just rest my mind. But every once in a while, you got to stop for a minute and give her some attention. But when she was speaking that to me, I heard God said, okay, when you finish with her, where are you with me? I need you to stop for a minute and spend some time with me. I need you to deposit some stuff with me. I need to deposit some stuff in you. I need you to spend some quality time with me. So you need to put some stuff down. Spend some time with me so I can stretch you. If she's stretching you, then I'm stretching you also. And that's the thing we got to realize. You ought to be thankful that you are with someone that is willing to stretch you and not allow you to be comfortable. You
all are our witness. Y'all my witness today. I'm just saying.
I ain't say I'm going to do it. I'm just saying that what you said.
I'm just saying, y'all my witness today. It says, on the other side of discomfort, through our struggles we emerge. We gain strength and become sturdier through each experience. And this is kind of where I was kind of going at first with the, the balance, and it helped, the stretching. It helps us balance problems. Anyway, it says, through our struggles we emerge, we gain strength and become sturdier through each experience as we grow into who we are meant to be. We must endure these hardships and comforts, because on the other side of discomfort is a place where we are more confident, compassionate, resilient, and bolder. On the other side of discomfort is that person that God created you to be.
That's it. That's good. On the other side of all this discomfort is waiting the person that God has created you. He's waiting on you. The whole world is waiting on you. And I think that's the thing we have to really realize during this period of time. It's a very uncomfortable time, but it's a good thing. Stop fighting the process. I'm going to say it again. Stop fighting the process. Don't fight the process.
Now listen. Now let me be real for a minute. We're not on here just trying to be super spiritual and whatever and trying to tell you, hey, girl, you're going to go through some things, or boy, man, you're going to go through some things, and go ahead and go through it. This and that. Listen, it's a reason why he just said, stop fighting the process. Listen, we're going to go through it. We all go through hardships. We all go through pain. We all get uncomfortable. We're all being stretched at this moment in our lives. Right. We're all being stretched. And when the sister was saying on the other night, I feel some kind of way. And I said earlier, I knew exactly how she felt. Right. Because I'm uncomfortable right now.
Very. I mean, let me say this. She very when and I hate to, I don't want to call names, but when it was being said, I was like, man, this is what I'm dealing with at home. She'll sit there, she tosses, she turns, she look at me, get mad at me, get frustrated with me. I ain't even did nothing. But the mere fact of it is the pressure and the weight of the discomfort that is placed on us at this particular time will cause us to leash out at the ones that are closest to us, and we'll find ourselves arguing and fussing over stuff that don't even make any sense. All because I'm uncomfortable, because God is pushing me into a place that I've never been before. So stop fighting the process. Stop putting your growth on hold. It's time for you to become, baby. It's time for you to walk in those ordered footsteps. Like, even though they might be discomforting, walk in them. Stop putting your growth on hold. You are able to expand. Look at the stretch marks when you get in the mirror and say, Lord, I don't like them. They look ugly, but you have placed them there for a reason to give me remembrance that I'm able to be expanded. I'm able to grow. I'm able to become.
That's good.
I'm able, and every once in a while, you got to realize the pain that we go through. Paul said it like this. He cried unto the Lord. He besought him. He said he besought him thrice to remove this thorn out of my flesh. He said, I'm going to let that thing stay there so you won't get comfortable. That thorn in your flesh, that pain, that agony, that thing I'm putting there so you won't get comfortable. I'm going to make sure you stay uncomfortable so you keep on growing. I'm going to make sure you stay uncomfortable so you keep on seeking for me. You keep on looking for me. You keep on asking, Lord, what's next in my life? I can't stay here. When I thought I have arrived, he said there's still more for me. I came that you might have life and have it what? More abundantly. And you can't just be willing to live. Let me say it like this. You are not just a survivor. And it's in our instinct, it's in our nature, it's in our DNA just to be survivors. You're more than a survivor. You're more than a conqueror. In order to conquer something, you got to be willing to go the extra step. I want to place you to survive.
Right. That's good.
I want to place it just to live. God has invested too much in us, saints. No matter how messed up you are, He's invested too much in us for us just to live. It says, Paul said like this, he said, forgetting those things which are behind and looking forward to the things in front. He said, I stretch. There is a stretching process that is taking place in all of our lives right now. You got to be willing to be stretched. Because he said, I will not pour my new wine into old wineskins because they can't handle it. Are you expendable? You've been asking God to enlarge your territory. You've been asking God to make you bigger. Can you handle it? Can you handle the discomfort of being uncomfortable?
Can you handle the discomfort for growth?
For growth.
Because that's what's happening. You're growing. You're uncomfortable because you're growing. James found a quote on last night, and I'm not even sure who this is, but it says it's by at Coco's Feet. And we're gonna.
Guess it's time for us to close it out.
We're gonna go ahead and get ready to close this out, but we kind of froze up for a second.
It says, say it read again. You can either walk in your comfort,
or you can walk in your calling.
And there was one more. Now give me that other one to me. You can either walk in comfort or walk in your calling. Because you walking in your calling, it won't be comfortable. I'm going to say it right now. It won't be comfortable because God is always causing us to grow. This is not a season of comfort. It is a season for stretching, challenging the status quo, and stepping into everything that you've been promised. But it won't be comfortable. You'll have to fight for it. If you're going to walk boldly in your calling, what do you need to start doing it today?
That's a good
Ask yourself that question. If I'm going to walk boldly in my calling, what do I need to do to start it today? Lord, strengthen my faith. Because I got to walk boldly in what you called me to do. I can't stay here. I need some direction. I need some understanding. I'm in the middle of a transition and you're stretching me. You're stretching my borders. You're stretching my mind. You're stretching my body. You're stretching my spirit. But it's a good thing, even though it don't feel good, even though sometimes I feel like quitting. You're stretching my marriage. You're stretching every aspect of my life. But I'm willing to go through the process because I realize the promise, my destiny is on the other side of this process. And I might have to let some folk go. I might have to lose some relationship. I might have to cut off some stuff. I might have to put myself in a cocoon. And what's so powerful about that cocoon is that the caterpillar does what? It spins its own cocoon.
You're going to have to hurry up.
We good. I'm going to shut this thing down. But you cannot wait on somebody else to put you in a state of isolation. You got to be willing to put yourself in a state of isolation, realizing that I'm vulnerable. I can't be around a lot of folk. I might do like Peter. I might cuss you out. I might slap you. I might kill you. I might cut your ear off. So right now, I got to put myself in a state of isolation so I can go through this process. Oh God, and they ain't comfortable in the process because in the process of becoming that butterfly, the caterpillar has to go all the way down to a liquid state. It dissolves everything it was and becomes a new creation with wings. And so what I used to do, I used to be crawling, but I'm getting ready to fly. When I come through this process of being uncomfortable, I'm going to have wings and I'm going to fly. And as I get ready to end, I want to leave you with this right here. See, an eagle builds its nest high. It builds its nest high, for one, to protect its youth, protect its young. But it also builds its nest high because when it comes time for him to push, for the eagles to fly, to get them out of their comfort zone, he has to push them out of the nest. And as the little eaglet is falling, it learns how to fly.
Right.
In the midst of it falling, it learns how to fly. But he had to push him out of his comfort zone. Good. And I'm telling you right now, you might seem like everything around you is falling. You might seem like you're falling. But all I'm going to ask you to do in our closing is start flapping your wings, baby. Start flapping your wings. Start flapping your wings. You didn't even know you had wings. You didn't even know what your wings was designed to do until you begin to fall. And all of a sudden, the wind will get up under your wings and you'll realize I'm able to fly. I can fly through the situation. I can fly through my circumstance. I can fly through the ways of life, the torment of life. You have wings now. In order to use them, you got to get out your comfort zone. With that being said, let me get on out here. Love,
peace,
and happiness. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. You are feeling this discomfort because God is growing you.
That's right. He's stretching.
He's stretching you. He's putting you in a place.
Stretching you for growth.
Come on, say that again.
I said he's stretching you for growth.
Get ready to move, y'all. Get ready. Get ready to become what God has called you to be. Yeah, I know it's uncomfortable. Yeah, I know it's painful. But God will place no more on you than you can bear.
Right.
Stay in the process. Endure endure hardship like a good soldier. Stay on in the process. We got more scripture, but we're going to close it out.
We all fighting. Trust me.
Yes, ma'am. We love you. We appreciate you. Tune in on tomorrow for another power pack word from our spiritual leaders. And share this message. Share some other message that you know was good for you. Some of the ones that you can go back and look at some of them and share them. It don't matter. It doesn't matter who spoke them, but God was in them, and you know it helped you. Allow it to help somebody else.
See you later.
Peace.
Have a good day.
Love and happiness.